From Shakespeare to Disney, everyone has an idea about what the female character should be and how she should be represented in literature. In the time of Shakespeare, especially the time of his writing of the later sonnets he has been made famous of as a poet, the world was thinking the women were to be owned and used, to be made wives and mothers and mistresses for the men of the society. These days, that view has significantly changed as there has been an increase in the role of women in society and their social standing, becoming more than just the property of men, but great leaders of the nation and economy. But at the beginning of most literature, like the Bible, women were merely there to help males, and they were not seen as their own independent person. All of these changes did not happen overnight, as can be seen by the evolution of female character in literature throughout the ages. Moana, a fun and happy movie created for children and their families in 2016 by the Disney studio staff, touched many people with the story of a young islander girl going to save her village, of which she will soon be the chief of. Yet this movie was so loved because of the strength of Moana's character and her brave acts on behalf of her people and her home. The story follows her brave adventures across the ocean, completely ignoring her father, who is the chief of the tribe, and disregards his orders to do something she believes will save her home and better everyone in the long run, despite it being dangerous and almost impossible. She is intent, unwavering, and in the end single-handedly saves her home, although she is led by a demigod named Maui. The story is based off of legends from the Polynesian people, although it is actually altered dramatically to have a female lead character portrayed as a chief, as that is a big no-no in the Polynesian culture. This caused a bit of an uproar from the natives to the islands that these legends originated from, and the people of the cultures the story is supposed to be portraying, all in the name of appeasing the people of the age with a strong female lead for children. This shows just how our society is in this day and age, as we are more interested in appeasing women than tribes in the Pacific Ocean. Devices that help to further the strength of the female character in this movie include symbolism, as seen in the heart of Te Fiti, personification of the coconut pirates that help to further the belief that Moana is a strong character when she takes them on single-handedly, appropriation of the Polynesian culture to create this great character. The old adage that her father presents her, "No one goes beyond the reef," is used to show her move away from her being around and becoming her own person. The climax of this movie is to show just how strong Moana's character is, as she single-handedly takes on Te Kā and saves the oceans and islands. Conflict in many forms, including with her own people as well as others, and most importantly herself, has further developed the strong female character that Moana is known for, and the motif of the chief necklace is the device that truly is apparent, as it represents the chosen chief of the Voyager people, or Moana received it while her dad did not. Moana is helped by the use of themes such as identity, self-discovery, destiny, and culture to further her as a leading female worthy of the 21st century in such a feminist society. Before this, we have The Dressmaker by Rosalie Ham. This novel features many characters, all of the people in a small country town called Dungatar in the Australian outback. The story does not have a definite main character, although in this novel it is used to see the sins of all of the people within the town. Published in 2000 but based in the 1950s, this book has since been adapted to a movie because of the strong characters and dramatic storyline. The text follows all of the characters of the town at their worst times and is mostly following the women. This helps to show the traits of the women of the town and how they were bad people with shallow beliefs and bad attitudes. This is a representation of women of the time in the small towns in the 50s, yet also everywhere at that time. Yet even though Ham modelled her location off of a childhood home, she did not grow up in a place like that. She was in a loving community opposed to Dungatar's evil community. So why did she do this? Create a culture of horrible people? Throughout the 50s, the women of society were seen to be shallow, gossiping women with nothing better to do than get nice clothes and whine about the other people that they called their best friends or maybe even their enemies. Or at least this is how they were seen in the literature at the time. They were seen as nothing more than wives and mothers and outcasts, as seen in The Dressmaker, and they had nothing better to do than bring other people down while trying to make themselves better than everyone else. Yet Tilly is different. She does not destroy the people that destroyed her and sent her away for a death she did not commit, but rose above them and tried to be a better person, even helping them to become better. She experiences bad things, yet is better than the rest and becomes a success despite her spirit almost being crushed at such a young age when a boy sexually assaulted her and then tried to hurt her, killing himself when she moved away. Themes that further the character of this novel include hypocrisy, as seen in Ruth when she wants to be secretive about her girlfriend yet will still go through Tilly's mail. Vanity is seen by all of the women and their desire to look beautiful constantly. Manipulation is seen by quite a few characters so that they can further their own selfish needs. Jealousy is seen in everyone's response to Tilly returning and being the most fashionable lady there. Tall poppy syndrome, as once Tilly is established as a beautiful grown woman, the other women delight in trying to make her the damaged little kid once again, talking about her as well as spying on her. Basically, all of the points of the human condition show just what kind of women these ladies are and how women were presented in this time of seemingly useless women. Rosalie Ham uses techniques such as flashbacks to show just how much Tilly has gone through, yet she remains pure and above all of the other awful women. Quick changes in narrator to get a feel that the audience is seeing everything, yet also what they are doing wrong, and symbolism in the fashion and clothes and how they represent the new start of the women of Gungatar, from shallow, boring housewives to high-fashioned ladies. This is all of the ways of the 1950s literary women. He was in a time of extreme oppression of the female sex. Shakespeare is known to be one of the first feminists of the New Age in Europe. Although, does his writing within his sonnets show this? When you read these sonnets, towards the 120th sonnet, the introduction of a woman creates the representation we are looking for, known as the Dark Lady. She is a love interest, but also a driver for inner turmoil that occurs within the narrator, as she is a free-willed individual that does not follow him constantly, but drives him away from his friend as they both love her. She is represented as a sought-after thing, with the men both desiring her, as in this time women were seen as the master manipulator, as their sexuality could be lorded over men, hence many of the men being fearful of them in positions high in the society, making them have to be kept within the house and at the men's sides. Techniques to represent this include first-person perspective to show the loss of a friendship and how that affected him, hyperbole in the way he expresses that he has lost his friend forever. The alternating rhyme scheme is used to give the sonnet an almost musical feel and to make everything contemplative, yet it changes in the last two lines to a rhyming couplet to express just how he has become trapped by his lover's beauty and has to leave his friend. Metaphor, as seen in the last line, he pays the whole and yet I am not free. An extended metaphor is the use of finance to represent the love they have for the Dark Lady despite it tearing them apart. Themes present throughout this sonnet to further the desirability of women include money to represent the love and greed of taking the Dark Lady, love and how women can change a love that has been developed over years with her beauty, and freedom, as once this lovely girl was in the picture, it seemed that all freedom left the male narrator. This can be seen through various other writers that was the way that the women were portrayed at the time. As seen through these women of the literary arts, as the feminist movements have moved through our world, the female character has changed too, ranging across all genres and audiences and purposes. The characters become stronger, taking on leading roles that display a brave, courageous, and driven character, changing from these small figures only used to further other people. They have changed with their context and purpose as authors have changed their stances and come to see them in a better light, a clearer light. From the Bible full of useless baby makers and companions, to Shakespeare and his society of men being scared of women's power, to the 20th and 21st century, which has fluctuated in their stance of if women should be raised on a pedestal or on the ground with everyone else, as seen in the literature. That is how the female archetype has been shaped through the context, purpose, and author's thoughts.